Hey there, welcome back guys. So today is a special day, if you could not tell already. Could be one of the best days of my entire life. There's a Ferrari behind me, and if you guys know anything about me, I am #1 Ferrari. I am a tifosi to the deepest part of my soul, man. And I've never driven one of these cars before. I've seen them on TV, I've been around them. I mean, I've lusted over these cars my entire freaking life. And here's one right behind me, and I'm gonna get to drive it. The owner was so gracious to reach out to me and invite me out here to drive his 599 GTB. This thing has 612 horsepower, and it shares the drivetrain with, in my opinion, the best car ever made. The best car, hands down, that will ever be made, the Ferrari Enzo. It's a V12 6-liter, has the automatic F1 transmission, and this thing is optioned out. So I'll show you guys real quick around the car, and then we're gonna go take it out. And oh my gosh, this is gonna be good. I can't wait to actually drive a real Ferrari, dude. I'm so excited. So let's get right into it. Here's the 599 GTB all open up. I just want to show you guys real quick around this car because this car just has it all, man. The specs, the options, amazing. Already, the wheels are fantastic. You have the red calipers, which I think is the only way to go. Maybe yellow, but I prefer red. The beautiful fender badge, which just makes me so excited to see these things in real life. That is awesome. And here is the heart. This is the giant V12 engine, 6 liters. I mean, I've seen pictures of this thing. I've looked on the internet, you know, I mean, it shares the same exact engine with the Enzo. But when you're actually here in person, you get an idea of how massive this thing really is. I mean, look at that. That is just crazy. And it's behind the front axle. So I hear it performs like a mid-engine car. I mean, this thing is just ginormous, absolutely beautiful. Then over here, which I think is one of the most unique things about the 599, are these flying buttresses. Look, you can stick your hand right through there. That is so cool. And so I guess that's where the downforce comes, because they made this car originally as a GT car, a touring car, so they didn't want to add a giant wing to make it look like super race car, boy racer car. They want it under the radar, so that's what these flying buttresses do. They add downforce. Then in here, man, oh my gosh, I'm sorry if I'm starting to lie. I mean, I'm just so excited. Carbon fiber everywhere you could put carbon fiber. I mean, the dash, everything has carbon fiber. You have the 60th anniversary of Ferrari here. The tack, I wonder if that's an option, if the red, because I know Porsche does that. You have optional colors for the dash, the lights and all that. But beautiful. Rosa Corsa over tan. I mean, that is the only way to go, in my opinion, with a Ferrari. I mean, my first Ferrari, I definitely want Rosa Corsa over tan. I feel like that's the only option. But enough talking, enough of everything. Let's just go take this thing out for a drive. Check engine light, I'm assuming, goes away. Yeah. Okay. I was like, oh no. I was like, oh no, no. Yeah. Awesome. And so you said, let it lurch a little bit, then once we catch.
Yeah, so just start feeding it a little bit of throttle, okay. And then you'll feel it.
Okay. Okay, perfect.
Yeah, so the clutch is slipping, now it's engaged.
Okay, then that's when you put on gas.
Yeah, when you feel it kind of.
Yeah, this is incredible, so.
Yeah, so go ahead, downshift and lay into it.
Wow, dude, that is incredible. Dude, those brakes. And it's like I get what they mean when they're like, oh, the car can do so much more, it's you, that's the problem. And it's like, even through these little bends, it's like, oh dude, are you kidding? I was just looking at the speedometer, I'm like, we're going 60 miles per hour.
Oh yeah, and you could probably,
you don't feel it.
Yeah, like, you could go 80 or 100 through there. no
Yeah,
problem.
it's like you don't feel it.
Yeah, these long sweepers like this are great because you can get like really cruising. And yeah, that's always a lot of fun. Yeah, the car will handle way more than you probably should ever do on the street.
For sure. Gentle into the power. That punch.
And let it wrap out a little more. Even more than that. I'm like, so like, you just don't know where the limits. You're like, well,
damn,
and
step
the
it
other
up,
thing
bro.
is, it's like, it's hard to tell how fast you're going too, you know?
Yeah, that was
so
like,
it's like you rip up through 4th gear and you're doing like 140.
Yeah, I just saw that. We're at 90 miles per hour.
I took this drive up in Utah in the mountains right after I got this thing, and I was getting with it. And up and down this beautiful road through the mountains that was just a lot of really long sweepers, and I was really pushing the car pretty hard. And so I'm like, okay, I think I've used up all my goodwill for the day. I'm gonna tone it down.
That is a real thing, dude. That's a real thing.
So I slowed down and I'm just cruising along and I'm not even thinking about it. And I looked down at the speedo and I was doing 130.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, there it is. I love that lurching feeling.
Yeah. It feels good, right?
Yeah, that punch, it's like, I love it. You know, I hear people complain it, man. I love that punch in the back.
Yeah,
and
I never get tired of it.
It's everything I dreamed it was gonna be. Like that punch, I'm like, yes, it feels just how I wanted it to feel. Oh my gosh, man, that is, yeah, that, wow. And the perfect day, man. It's like here in Alaska, you see this, and it's like, wow, you get it. You know, you get it. It's like, yeah,
this
we
is
don't
what
have
this car
it.
was built for. It's
For sure.
A road like this on a day like today, and it does it really well.
Yeah, wow. So effortless.
Yeah.
I mean, so effortless. I mean, it's like it's not even trying to go. I mean, Jesus.
Yeah, you see what I'm saying though? Like the car doesn't really come alive until you're into some serious speeds, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Like 80 miles per hour feels like 60 miles per hour in a normal car. That is excellent. That is so cool. That is so wild. And it's like you see what they mean. It's like, oh no, you can't keep up with the car. Like,
yeah, it's just this swell of speed that just keeps going until you know, let out of it. Yeah, it's pretty wild.
Like, there's just no stopping it. There you go. I know Enzo Ferrari, man, he loved the people that drove his cars. He was very adamant on people driving his cars. He hated the people that stuck them in a garage.
Yeah.
And it's like, I mean, this is what you want to be done with his cars. Not sitting in a garage collecting dust.
Yeah.
Feels so confident.
It is, yeah.
Feels so confident. Okay, for real, next pull off. Okay. I know, I'm like, I don't want to stop.
Keep going.
Yeah. So extremely stable at high speeds. So I kind of like the familiarity of the whole manual where it's get off the gas,
Right.
brake.
Yeah, it's kind of a natural transition.
Yeah, it feels like a manual car, and
It feels like a manual, yes.
That's awesome. That's something you would see in Switzerland right there.
Yeah, exactly.
See, all that sim racing came to my aid. No, I'm just kidding. There's no comparison. That's a joke in the sim community. I'm really into the sim racing scene, and it's like, oh, I can do this in real life, really.
Yeah, it's a little different in real life.
Yeah, a little bit. There's no restart button here, so you gotta be extra cautious.
Bigger bill to pay if you wreck this one.
Oh yeah, there's no simple restart.
Right.
I'm gonna back off this guy a little bit because I do want to honk the horn. I don't know why, but that's I've always wondered, because I know this is when Ferrari really started putting everything on the dash, and I've always, how much pressure? Okay, that takes some pressure. That takes some pressure. Everyone makes it sound like it's like, oh, I accidentally press the horn all the time. It's like, no, that's some pressure.
Not in these cars. In the 458 for sure. They're kind of like, it's in a terrible location. To where it is right where your
there.
palm is going to go when you're like turning. It's so funny to see those things on the track and then hear the horn.
Seeing blinkers and stuff. Wait for the power to get down. I've noticed I'm like how much I'm not pushing, how much the car is begging. Because when I'm getting on it, the red lights aren't even showing up. It's not even revving, so it's like...
Exactly. And it makes most of its power above 6,000 RPM.
Yeah. So I mean, already, man, this thing has so much power. So that whole argument of like how things are getting more and more powerful, it's like you can't use all of that. I mean, you really... I'm understanding that now. So the new SF90, I think, is 1,000 power.
Yeah,
it's like,
right.
Man, you don't need that.
No.
You do not need that. There's
definitely not. Like you can't
there's no excuse for it.
Really explore this car's true capabilities on the street.
Wow.
And
dude.
I mean, if you're a track day guy, that's one thing, but nobody's taking their SF90s to the track.
No. No.
So it's a little gratuitous to have that much power. Makes for good 0 to 60 times.
Yeah, bragging about numbers and stuff.
Yeah, for sure. Everybody wants the car with more horsepower, but this car is probably approaching the limit of what you can really use on the street safely. Like anything more than this, and things start getting pretty rowdy.
For sure.
This pavement wasn't designed for 1,000 horsepower cars.
Oh, hell no.
I promise.
Yeah, man. Next time I hear someone talking crap about the F1 box, man, get the hell out of here, man.
It's good. The downshifts are super crisp too. Like that's what always impressed me was the upshifts are great, but the downshifts are just as good.
Yeah, just as good. So we just got back, and yeah, that was incredible, man. One of the coolest experiences of my life, and the coolest experience of my automotive life, man. I mean, that was a dream come true, and it just poured gas on the fire. Like for me, like the F430, it's like I mean, that's the true dream car, and it's like that feels like I just got a step closer because I got to experience something similar. Like you're in the room now with these kind of cars, and that just ignited that passion more than it already was. So I'm just so excited to finally, like, one day have one of these in my driveway, man. That was just the coolest experience ever. And I have a few takeaways too. One thing that is talked a lot about these F1 transmissions is, oh, you know, it's really, you know, really lurchy. It's just really terrible. And, you know, I went into this with the notion like, oh, this transmission sucks, but not at all. Not at all. There's that kick, you know, you guys seen that kick, and it's like, to me, that makes me feel like I'm driving a manual car. I love manual cars, and it's like, there's so many quirks and features about this, where it's like, you feel like you're driving a manual car, and you almost forget. Like, there's a few times I went for the clutch pedal, and it's like, I don't see why you would want it any other way. Like, the whole dual clutch in the 458, man, that almost seems like it would be too quick. I mean, this is so much character. That like lurch in the back, that punch in the back feels so excellent. So I think that was my biggest takeaway, was the transmission and the downforce. It's like, it doesn't look like it generates a lot of downforce, but it does. Like, we were going over this hill, and I'm waiting for the sand to hit your head on top of the roof, but that never came. It was just like, whew. I was like, wow, like the downforce, it doesn't look like it because it doesn't have a giant wing like a GT3 or something like that. So that was also really impressive. And I can go on and on about the braking, but I think I'm gonna wrap it up here. You could probably tell I'm kind of exhausted. I am a little bit exhausted. I mean, that was a lot of adrenaline and a lot of paying attention and stuff. So that was kind of draining, but I'd totally be down to go to sleep and do it the next day. So really hyped. And big thank you to the owner that invited me out. I'll put his Instagram right here, and just totally blessed, man. Just absolutely grateful to have this experience and have this dream come true, to finally be around and drive a real Ferrari. So check that off the bucket list. Now it's like, let's keep grinding and hopefully own one day. But anyways, thank you guys. That was awesome, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Later.